What's good, everybody? It's your boy Upstart 101, heavy hitter 101, ready to talk a little Eagles 101 as we look forward to the game tonight with the 7-3 first place in the NFC West Seattle Seahawks taking on our 3-6-1 third place Philadelphia Eagles. It's crazy. I mean, at this point in the season, who would have thought that the bottom feeders in the NFC East right now would be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys? Unbelievable. But tonight's game is going to be, it's important for us because you had the Giants and Redskins both getting wins, and these wins are going to be, hard to come by if they even thinking about still winning the division, so to speak. So tonight, you've got a tough opponent, and then you've got the elements as well. They're expecting rain and lots of it. Maybe not as much so, wind, but the rain will be a factor. So that means both teams are probably gonna try and rely on the run game a whole lot more. But one team seems to be able to stick to a game plan, while the other team can come in with the game plan and then they abandon it. So we'll see how that pans out. The Seattle Seahawks come in to tonight's game second in total offense in the NFL, which seems kind of scary for our defense, but I think the elements will slow them down a little bit. But their defense is suspect. Their defense is 22nd overall, but they're 32nd against the pass. The only problem with that is we don't have the passing attack to exploit it. So what do? I don't know. Everybody's making a big deal about Russell Wilson being undefeated against us, and he is. But if you look closely at the numbers, he hasn't been really spectacular. For the most part, he's completing just under 60% of his passes for about 1,000 yards, 7-8 TDs, 1 pick, 1 fumble. He's been consistent. He's been steady. I won't say he's been steady. he hasn't lost the games for the Seahawks when they play against us. Now, us on the other hand, the reason we haven't beaten the Seahawks is because we just haven't been able to score any points. The last 5 games in which we played the Seahawks, we've scored 9 points, 9 points, 10 points, 15 points, 14 points, which averages out to 11.2 points per game. You're not going to beat anybody like that. And then that leads me to our quarterback, who in those games, he's only played 3. I'm not going to hold the playoff game against him, the Jadeveon Clowney game, because he was just in there for a second. But the 3 games that he's played against the Seahawks, which have been losses, including the 2017 season too. That game, we scored, what, 10 points? So Carson has completed 62% of his passes for about 822 yards. He's thrown 4 TDs, but he's thrown 5 picks, and he's fumbled 6 times. So that pretty much explains to you right there why we have not beaten the Seahawks in these past 5 games. Do I expect that to change tonight? I'll get to that in a moment. But as far as our defense go, even though the conditions are going to be bad, they're still going to have their hands with Russell Wilson, man. And I know his numbers aren't up to what they are against everybody else in terms of his completion percentage. Like, for instance, this year he's having another MVP caliber year. 70% completions, 3,000 yards passing, 30 TDs, 10 INTs. Some might say the INTs are a little high. Well, who cares when you got 30 TDs on top of it? I wouldn't care about Carson's 14 picks if he had 28 TDs to go along with it. If that was the case, we wouldn't be 3-6-1 right now. But Russell's just been Mr. Consistent, man. I mean, he's going to be getting MVP consideration again this year. It's just that Patrick Mahomes is just, to me, he's just taking that debate out of there's no debate right now. He's just taking that out of the equation right now. He would have to lose it significantly over the last month or so to let somebody back in to take that MVP from him. But dude is consistent. And the one thing that gets me about Russell, nobody really discusses the Iron Man streak that he has. Ever since this man has came into the league back in 2012, which still stings at you, Howard, which is why you drafted Jalen Hurts. You shouldn't have done that. But ever since this man came into the league in 2012, this man has not missed a start. 153 consecutive starts, I believe it is, including playoffs. Second only to old man Phillip Rivers. Active. Hats off to him, man. I commend him because I get a little jealous when I hear a quarterback play 16 games in a season. We don't get that too often around here lately. And then when we do, we want to throw a parade for whoever does it. But that's pretty much how the numbers shake out. We know how the Eagles are. Defensively, the numbers say one thing, but it's just key moments that if you watch the games, you know what I'm talking about. It's just key moments when they need to do something, when we really need them to do something, they don't do it. They don't do it. They don't make a key stop when they need to make a key stop when they need to. It's just bad football, so to speak. It's bad situational football. And that being said, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game tonight. I think Russ is going to give us a pick or two. We're going to be on the plus side of the turnover battle tonight. And we're going to win this game. I think it's going to be more so like 23-17 Eagles. And based off of the stats I just gave you, you're probably thinking how in the world that's going to be, because over the last 5 games, like I said, we've just averaged 11 points a game against this team for no apparent reason whatsoever, when this is not the Legion of Boom defense that we've been facing. Sometimes a team just has your number, and bad things just seem to happen whenever you play that team. But I think it gets reversed tonight. I think it's going to be, because of the conditions, a sloppy game, and there's going to be turnovers. And so I think the Eagles are going to win that turnover battle, and they're going to capitalize on it, and they're going to win this game. The key being, the one thing that scares me, they have to run the ball, the Eagles that is, and Miles has to hold on to that ball. I think Miles will get yards against the Seahawks. Miles has basically gotten yards against everybody who he's played against. Doug just doesn't continue to ride the high end. And my thing about it is, once you establish them, why don't we play action pass more? I just don't understand that. That could be a big part of the offense, but we don't utilize the play action like we should, especially when you've got your running back running. But I don't know. I'm not Doug Peterson, so I digress. But yeah, I think the Eagles are going to win this game 23-17. We get a win. We keep pace in the division. And we get prepared to roll the dice next week against, I believe it's Green Bay. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. And I'll be in touch. Peace.